Sweet Tea with Coach Key.
Let's just get down to it.
Welcome to Sweet Tea with Coach Key. Coach Key.
Sweet Tea with Coach Key.
Real life stories of inspiration, perseverance, and prosperity.
Turn your radio up as loud as possible.
Sweet Tea with Coach Key.
I hope you have your teacups ready because she has the sugar.
Nothing like a cup of brown sugar to sweeten my day.
Now let's enjoy some Sweet Tea with Coach Key.
Sweet Tea with Coach Key. Welcome to this week's episode. I am super excited about this episode. As always, I had a conversation with someone today, and they were basically telling me that it was very, interesting that I had hit them up because they were going through a tough time with their day today. Because at first it was just like an exchange, just, hey, how you doing? I'm good, and then that's it. But then she hit me back up and was just like, it's really interesting that you contacted me because I am having, a tough day, So we started to talk more, and she basically let me know that she was in a place that many of us have been, if we are not right now, but just in a place of really just unfulfillment and unhappiness. Bills paid, kids good, family good, health good, but as it relates to what you spend all of your time doing during the day, it's not fulfilling. You're not happy. And as a believer, I don't feel like that's something that we have to sacrifice. I don't feel like I have to sacrifice paying my bills for happiness. I don't feel like I have to sacrifice raising my kids and giving my kids what they need for joy and peace, I do understand the trials will come, no matter what you're doing in life. But basically the exchange was just that, I'm not ungrateful, but every time I tell somebody about how I feel, they tell me, I should be grateful for what I have and having a good job. And I'm just like, I totally understand what you're saying, and I also feel like you're talking to the wrong people. Not just because I understand and they don't. I feel like you're talking to the wrong people when what you're saying is coming across as being ungrateful. I think that there's always going to be someone who considers what you want or what you desire as ungrateful, because essentially you may have or want more than what they have. And to a person who has less may feel like wanting more or having more isn't necessary. When you think about a minimalist or a person who has never, driven a car, it would be kind of hard to make them believe that you need a car, during your adult years, or to live life, to do what you need to do, you need a car. Some people you just cannot convince them, or to make a certain amount of money or have a certain amount of money. Some people do not need a certain amount of money to sustain a lifestyle. And that may be excessive to some people. So when I told her, you're having a conversation with someone that's not speaking your language, and it's not fair to you for you to try to filter your dreams, your perspective through the colander of a person who does not see your vision or who does not have a similar purpose or desires of the heart that you have. In addition to that, we went on to talk about the things that, what is it that you do desire? What is it that you want to do? And she pretty much said, I don't know exactly what I want to do. And I don't know exactly what I want to do. And I said, well, that's very interesting because I come in contact with so many women and so many younger women who don't know their purpose. They don't know why they're on earth. They don't know what it is that they want to do for the rest of their life. And that's okay. But what we do know is, one, life is a journey. So what you may want to do now may change, right? And you also know what you do not want. So if where you are right now is what you do not want, then where you are should not be what you pursue. Where you are right now. Yeah, where you are right now should not be what you choose to pursue. Case in point, I've given the example plenty of times how I do not work call center jobs. I'm too busy. I like to move around and get up and do this and do this and do that. And sitting still being tied to a phone is just not something that I'm capable of doing. I'm sure I'm able to do it, but it's just not something I want to do. So I had to come to terms with that and realized that I was doing myself a disservice to continue to apply for these type of jobs. And guess what? When I stopped, that's when my resume started to really get beefed up with the higher paying jobs that I was really seeking, that really didn't even know exist. But I really started to beef up my resume to help put me in a higher income bracket with the type of work that I specialize in. Not just coaching, but as far as it relates to corporate America. I was able to put myself in a better position when I stopped pursuing the things that I did not want. I mean, that can be relative to your relationships. If you stop pursuing people who do certain things or see life in a certain way, then you're going to pursue what you do want. And then that's going to turn into you getting ultimately what you truly do desire. As it relates to friends, life partners, the type of food that you eat, those type of things will change once you move away from the things that you truly do not want. And that's what I told her. And she just like, I have a lot of things going on in my life already. I really don't need to take on anything extra right now. And I said, well, here's the thing. Anything that you do in the direction of what you want is not invaluable. It is totally valuable. Like, it is 1,000,000% valuable. One step at a time. I gave her the example about my nonprofit. I started my nonprofit in 2017. I had a cancer scare. I had 2 surgeries back to back. I had a whole change in life structure. My issues and things were coming up with my children, life changing, traveling all over the place, circumstances, right? And I stopped. I took a break from doing what I truly wanted to do, and something that I needed to be almost full to do, right? I still kept my standing in the right place with my nonprofit, so when I'm ready to pick it back up off the shelf, I can go and start and do, right? As opposed to me never doing it because the time was never right. But that's not the case. I started something and I can pick right back up where I left off. It's not in a graveyard. It's in a parking lot. So that's the difference about not starting something and putting it off until you're ready. Because truthfully, you probably will never be 100% ready. And waiting for ready is waiting for never. I'm sorry. Waiting for ready it equals to never. Because it more than, and here's the biggest thing, right? Our ready is not God's ready. I can guarantee you every single thing that I've done in my life that has been revolutionary, I have not been ready for. I thought I was. But in my eyes, in my mind, I wasn't ready. And I use this hashtag on Instagram all the time, Godspeed. And what that means is, to me, what it means is going about life in the speed that God will have me go about it. Because essentially, how many times have we thought we was ready for something? We ready. And we get it and we're like, ooh, yeah, I wasn't ready. And this is the worst thing ever, right? To get what you want and lose it. To get what you truly desire and lose it. So on the flip side of that, starting to pursue what it is that you truly do want in micro pieces is still valuable. So even if the journey is not completely clear, even if you are not completely sure what the end will look like, right? The fact that you're making strides in the correct direction of where you're going. So let's think about that when you're in a car, right? So let's say you can drive a maximum of 15 minutes a day and you're driving across country. Long as you're going in the right direction, you will reach the East Coast. It will take time. You will have to take rest. You can only drive 15 minutes a day. You will get there. You will make progress, right? There probably will be traffic jams along the way. You're going to have to get gas. You're going to have all of this good stuff. It's going to be expenses and life occurrences along the way. But the fact that you're headed in that direction, you're closer to where you are destined to go, as opposed to you just staying in California or staying in Seattle and not moving at all. So I chose to talk about this today on this episode, because this is where so many of us are. We're faced with a lot. We're unhappy. We're unsure. We're unmotivated. And I don't even know if unencouraged is not a word. Yeah, that's not a word. But anyway, we're not encouraged by the conversations that we're having with people. Here's the last thing. That seed, that God has placed inside of you, that is supposed to be nourished and growing and all of this stuff, to see who He placed you on this earth to be, that seed cannot be seen by blind people. And not that they're physically blind, but they're unable to see what God has not given them provision to see. So you are out of pocket to have any type of ill feeling towards a person who don't get it. They weren't given the provision of getting it. I know there was this a while ago, I don't even know if this was a gimmick or not. There was this blue dress on Facebook, and some people seen blue, I think some people seen yellow or red or something. Basically, some people are not going to see what others can see. And I just see it as an anointing. A perspective, some people will never have your perspective or even see life the way you see it, and that is okay. But it is our responsibility to find the people on this earth who God has put here for us to help nourish the seed that He has planted in us. Because those people are going to help you to continue on the journey to have that seed to come to fruition. Saying that I've talked to somebody who don't get it is not an excuse. Saying that I do not know, I'm not sure is not an excuse. Saying that I'm not ready is not an excuse. You are the primary contributor to your unfulfillment and your discontentment and the fact that you're unhappy. And the fact is, you don't have to pursue that journey of living a fulfilling life by yourself. I love you all. I hope you have a blessed and amazing rest of your week. And I will holler at y'all next Wednesday. Take care.